Alright, and hello everyone, it is me, Jay Burns, and in this tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how to make this design right here. This design is my own original design, and this is the awesome face picture that is made on the Alpha Loom. So, I'll be showing you how you can make this, and before we do begin, you can get the template for this little picture here on a website, and the link to that website will be in the description, and yeah, you can print it out and all that good stuff. Alright, anyway, to make this awesome face picture, you're going to need an Alpha Loom. Of course, you're going to need an Alpha comb, or you can just use a regular hook. But if you do decide to use the Alpha comb, you will still need a regular hook as well. You will not need any clips for this design because it's going to be a picture, and I'm going to show you how you can close off the picture with just rubber bands and not even need a clip. You will also want to have a template. If you decide not to get a template and download one and all that stuff, I do have one right here, and I'll be going through and showing you this template in the tutorial. And if you do decide to have a template with you, like I do, you will also want to have a pencil. And the pencil is used to mark off the columns as you place the rubber bands for them. And I'll show you once we get to that part. But anyway, you're also going to need rubber bands, and there are 3 different groups. I'll explain what they each are. The A group, the A rubber bands, they are all of the glasses here, and they're also this little half smile right here. So the black and white rubber bands, and you can make the glasses all black, but I'll be using some white for the white parts here. It's all going to be A color rubber bands. Right. Then the B rubber bands, they are the background, and they're the yellow squares in this example. And then this third group here, these are the connector bands, and you can't see them in the example here or on the template, but they are the rubber bands that hold the 7 rows of single chains together. Alright, so to figure out how many bands you'll need, just go down to the description. It will be the exact same for everyone because this is a picture design, so it's not going to be a bracelet. And yeah, use the pause button to get your supplies, and we're going to go ahead and get started. Put all this stuff to the side. Alright, so to begin, you're going to want to have your template, and you're also going to want to get a connector band to start. And these always curve the wrong way every time. Alright, there you go. So if you have your template, you're going to want to have that out. And you're also going to want a connector band and your Alpha Loom. And you're going to want to have the Rainbow Loom words on the Alpha Loom facing towards you. Also the same side with this hole here. And what you're going to do is you're going to take your connector band and you're just going to stretch it going all the way across one side of the Alpha Loom, all 7 pins. Alright, so now you're going to want to get your template out if you have one. And we're going to start placing rubber bands. So, the rubber bands that we need for the design, we're going to start here with column 1. And for column 1, you just need 7 B color rubber bands. Alright. So let me just go ahead and explain this connector band we just placed. This is going to be our cat band, but instead of having just 8 little cat bands, we're just going to use a connector band instead, and that ends up having a better look in the end. Alright, anyway, so start placing rubber bands. You're going to need your 7 B color bands for column 1. And also, for on your template, this row here that goes all the way across, row 1 is up here at the top, furthest away from you, and row 7 is down here, these 2 pins closest to you. Alright, so you're just going to go ahead and place the 7 B color rubber bands, one going across 2 pins. So you're going to take one, place it going from one pin to the other, directly across from it. Then you'll do the same thing for the next one. Take a rubber band, stretch it from one side of the Alpha Loom directly across. And you'll do this with all your B color rubber bands, which are the background bands. Alright, now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and loom this connector band. And to do that, you're going to get your hook or your alpha comb, depends on what you're using. You're just going to grab that clear connector band or whatever color you're using, just grab it and pull it up and over the pins and onto the bands above it. Then you can use the other side of your alpha comb if you are using it. This side here on the opposite side of where all your hooks are. You can use that side to push all these bands down. Alright, I'm going to adjust my camera real quick. Alright, there we go. Hopefully there's more room now. So, now, also, if you have your template out, you're going to want to get your pencil and the template. And here's what we're using the pencil for. So you're just going to take your pencil and just lightly mark off column 1 there. And the columns are at the top. So just lightly mark off column 1. And that means we've placed the rubber bands we need for that column. And now we're going to move on and place the rubber bands we need for the next one, which is column 2. Alright, so for column 2, you're going to need a connector band. And you're going to need a connector band for all the rest of them, for the rest of this bracelet, or this picture. So you're going to need a connector band. You're going to need 1 A color rubber band, which is the glasses, and then 6 B color rubber bands. Alright. So, make sure you have the rainbow loom words facing towards you. That's very important, especially for this design. And from the top to the bottom, from row 1 to row 7, here is the order of the rubber bands you need to place. So first you place your clear connector band, or whatever color you're using, I keep forgetting. Right, so you're just going to place your connector band first on one side of the Alpha Loom, all 7 pins. And now, from the top to the bottom, from row 1 to row 7, here's the order of the rubber bands you need to place. So at the very top, at row 1, which is furthest away from you, is a B color band. Then the next one going down is your only A color rubber band. And the rest are all B color bands. And I just knocked over the template. Great job. Alright, so here's what I have on my Alpha Loom with the rainbow loom words closest. And here's the template. If you need to look at it, use the pause button if you need to. And now it's time to loom. Now looming the picture design here is very easy. It's the same every single time when you go to loom from now on. And so I'm only going to show you how you loom this design twice, and then you're just going to, every time it's time to loom, I'll just say go ahead and loom, and then you'll just go ahead and loom. So to loom this design, you first get your alpha comb or your hook, whatever you're using, and first grab that connector band and pull it up and over the pins. Then you go ahead and loom all the bottom rubber bands on both sides of your Alpha Loom. So let's grab all those bottom bands. pull them up and over. Then make sure you get the other side. Oops. And once you've loomed both sides, you can use the other side of your alpha comb, if you're using it, to push all these bands down. Then make sure you have the rainbow loom words facing towards you. And if you have your template, go ahead and get a pencil and just lightly mark off column 2. Right. Now we are going to place the rubber bands we need for column 3. So for column 3, you're going to need a connector band. You're going to need 2 A color rubber bands. And you're going to need 5 B color rubber bands. Alright. So, as always, for placing the rubber bands, rainbow words, closest to you, anyway. So, as always, for placing the rubber bands, we first place the connector band on one side of the Alpha Loom, all 7 pins. And make sure you place the connector band first before you place any other rubber bands, every single time. It's very important. Alright, now you can place the rubber bands you need for the design. It's here in column 3. And from row 1 down to row 7, here's the order of the bands. So from the top here, we have a B color band. Then we have our 2 A color rubber bands going down. And then the rest are all B color rubber bands. Alright, so here's what we have on the template, and here's what I have on my Alpha Loom. Use the pause button if you need to. And now it's time to loom. So, this is going to be my second time explaining how you loom this bracelet, or I keep calling it a bracelet, this picture. And this is also the last time, so next time it's time to loom, I'll just say go ahead and loom, and that's what we're going to do. I'm not going to explain it. Alright, so to loom the picture, the rubber bands for this design, you're first going to get your alpha comb or your hook and grab this connector band and pull it up and over the pins. It should get caught on these bands above it. Then you're just going to loom all the bottom rubber bands on both sides of the Alpha Loom. So make sure you get both sides. Grab all those bottom bands. And if you're using the Alpha comb and you're trying to grab all the rubber bands, but sometimes you'll end up grabbing 2 and it's just impossible to grab them all. So like right here, I'm not grabbing the rubber band that's here. When I go to loom, I can still always go back and just loom those bands that we missed, or I missed. Alright, anyway, once you have loomed everything, you can use the other side of your alpha comb to push the bands down, and then make sure you have those rainbow loom words facing towards you. And if you have your template, go ahead and cross off column 3. Alright, now we are going to place the rubber bands we need for column 4. So for column 4, we're going to need a connector band, like always. We're going to need 3 A color rubber bands and 4 B color rubber bands. Alright, so column 4. So, as always, we're going to place this connector band first on all 7 pins on one side of the Alpha Loom. Then you need to place the rubber bands you need for the actual design, and from row 1 to row 7, here is the order of the bands. So, the very top we have a B color band. Then we're going to place all 3 of our A color rubber bands going down. And then the rest are all B color bands. Alright, so here's the template and here's what I have on my Alpha Loom. Use the pause button if you need to. And now what we're going to do is go ahead and loom. So I'm not going to explain how you loom the bracelet again. Just go ahead and loom it. It's the same as always. And if I do finish before you, just use the pause button. Alright. And then once you finish, make sure the rainbow loom words are facing towards you. And if you have your template, go ahead and cross off very lightly column 4. Now we're on column 5. So for column 5 of the design, you're going to need a connector band. You're going to need 3 A color rubber bands. And if you're going to be making these white squares, actual white rubber bands, you're going to need 1 of those. So you should have 2 of the regular glasses color and then 1 for that white square. Those are your 3 A color bands. And then you're going to need 4 B color rubber bands. Alright. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to first place our connector band. One side of the Alpha Loom, all 7 pins. And then we're going to place the rubber bands we need for the design. And so from row 1 to row 7, here's the order of the rubber bands. So at the very top we have a B color rubber band. Then next we have the A color rubber band, that is going to be that white square on the template. And then the next 2 A color rubber bands are just whatever color you're making the glasses. Okay. And then the rest are all B color bands. Alright, so here's the template and here's what I have on my Alpha Loom. Use the pause button if you need to finish. And now what we're going to do is go ahead and loom. So go ahead and get your hook or your alpha comb and do that. Push down the bands, and once you've loomed everything, make sure you have those rainbow loom words facing towards you again, and mark off column 5 if you have your template with you. Alright, now we're on the 6th column. We're almost halfway through, and for column 6 you're going to need 3 A color, or wait, you're going to need a connector band. You're going to need 3 A color rubber bands, once again. And one of those A color rubber bands is going to represent that white square there, which I'm using white for. And then the other 2 are going to be for the regular glasses, and then also the little part of the smile there. And then the rest, which are, there are 4 B color rubber bands. Okay. So first you place that connector band. Placing the connector band is the same every time, just like looming. And then from row 1 to row 7, here's the order of the bands. So, at the very top we have a B color band. And next we have that white square A color rubber band. Then we have just the regular glasses color A color rubber band next. Then we have 2 B color rubber bands going down. Then we have our last A color rubber band. And here in row 1 we have a B color band. Alright, so here is the template. We're on column 6. And here's what I have on my Alpha Loom. Go ahead and use the pause button if you need to. And now it's time to loom. So go ahead and get that alpha comb or your hook. Alright, and then make sure you push down all the bands once you've finished. And then turn your Alpha Loom around so that the rainbow loom words are facing towards you. Alright, go ahead and mark off column 6 if you have your template. And now we're going to place the bands we need for column 7. So, just about halfway through the design. So, what we're going to do, or what we're going to need, is a connector band. We're going to need 2 B color rubber, or 2 A color rubber bands, one for the glasses and one for that little smile, and then 5 B color rubber bands. Alright, so for placing these bands, you're first going to need your connector band. Then from row 1 to row 7, here is the order of the bands. So at the very top we have a B color rubber band, as always. And next we have one of our A color rubber bands. Then after that we have 3 B color rubber bands going down. Then next we have our last A color rubber band for this column. And then at the very bottom, at row 7, we have our last B color rubber band for this column. And yeah, so here is the template, and here is what I have on my Alpha Loom. Use the pause button if you need to. Alright, and now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and loom again. So get your hook or your alpha comb and go ahead and do that. Right, don't forget to have your Alpha Loom turned back around so the rainbow loom words are facing towards you. You can feel them if you rub your Alpha Loom. And then also, if you have your template, don't forget to mark off column 7. Now we're on column 8, which is the exact same as column 7. For column 8, you'll need a connector band, 2 A color rubber bands, and 5 B color rubber bands. Oop, rubber bands are rolling around. Alright. And then placing the rubber bands you need for column 8 is the exact same as column 7 as well. So First you place your connector band, and from the top to the bottom it's the exact same as column 7. So what you can do is actually look at the rubber bands you have already on your loom and then place the exact same color above them. So at the very top you have a B color band and then an A color band, and the next there's 3 B color bands, and yeah. So as you can see, it's the same color above, the same color on all 7 pins. That's how it should look on your Alpha Loom. So here's what I have on my Alpha Loom. Here is the template. Use the pause button if you need to, but now it's time to loom. So go ahead and loom again. Get your hook, alpha comb, whatever you're using. Just go ahead and get that finished. Okay, so don't forget to push down the bands. You can already see the picture down here. And also don't forget to make sure that the rainbow loom words are facing towards you. And for everybody who's using a template, go ahead and cross off column 8. Now we are on column 9. And for column 9, you're going to need a connector band. You're going to need 4 B color rubber bands, or 4 A color rubber bands. Thinking black and B, yeah, they start the same letter. Yeah, anyway. You're going to need 4 A color rubber bands and 3 B color rubber bands. Alright, so I'm gonna have to scoop these off camera. Alright, so like always, you're going to place your connector band first, and then you're going to place the rubber bands you need for the actual design. And from row 1 to row 7, here's the order of the bands. So at the very top here we have a B color band. Next we have 2 A color rubber bands going down. Then we have a B color rubber band, and then our last 2 A color bands next. And then lastly we have a B color band down here on row 7. And so here is what I have on the template, and here's what's on my Alpha Loom. Go ahead and use the pause button if you need to. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and loom again. So get your hook or alpha comb. Do the same thing you've been doing to loom this entire time. Okay, so make sure you push down the bands, of course, have the rainbow loom words facing towards you, and if you have a template, go ahead and cross off column 9. We're starting to near the end of the design. Alright, so now we're on column 10, and for column 10, it's the exact same as column 4 over here, exact same, and well, for column 10, you're going to need a connector band. You're going to need 3 A color rubber bands. And then you're also going to need 4 B color rubber bands. Alright. Alright, so first you're going to place your connector band. Then from row 1 to row 7, here's the order of the rubber bands. At the very top we have a B color rubber band. Then next we have our 3 A color rubber bands going down. Then lastly we have our last 3 B color bands for the column here. So here's what I have on my Alpha Loom. Here's what I have for the template. Go ahead, use the pause button if you need to. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and loom again. Just get your hook, alpha comb, whatever you're using. Grab all those bottom bands. Oh well. Push down all the bands once you finished looming. And now make sure you have the rainbow loom words facing towards you once you finish. And don't forget to cross off column 10 if you have your template. And now we're on column 11. So for column 11 you're going to need a connector band. You're going to need 3 A color rubber bands. 2 of them are going to be just the color you're using for the regular glasses, and if you're going to actually have the white bands, you're going to need the rubber band that represents that white square on the template, unless it's just going to all be glasses. Those are your 3 A color bands, and then you're going to need 4 B color rubber bands. Oh, I keep running away. Alright. Let's get more B color rubber bands. Anyway, what we're going to go ahead and do is first, we're first going to place our connector band. Now we're going to place the bands we need for the actual design. And from row 1 to row 7, here's the order of the bands. At the very top we have a B color rubber band, as always. Then next we have the A color rubber band that will be representing that white square. Then next we have the other 2 A color rubber bands, which are just your regular glasses. And then we're going to have our 3 B color rubber bands at the end here. It's the exact same as column 10, but except we have this white square there, so it's almost the exact same. But anyway, here is the template. Here's what I have on my Alpha Loom. Go ahead, use the pause button if you need to. Now it's time to loom. So, go ahead and get whatever tool you're using to loom. There's a piece of glitter on my finger, or my hand. Red spot. Oh, now it's on my finger. Right. Anyway, let's go ahead and loom all those bottom bands. That's all of them. Make sure you push everything down, and make sure you have those rainbow loom words facing towards you again. And don't forget to cross off column 11 if you have your template. Right, now we're on column 12, and for column 12 you're going to need a connector band. You're also going to need 2 A color rubber bands. One is going to be just your regular glasses color, and if you're going to have one, the A color rubber band that will represent this white square. And you will also need 5 B color rubber bands. Alright, so for placing the rubber bands, for column 12, you're going to need to first place your connector band. Then you're going to place the bands you need for the actual design, and from row 1 to row 7, here's the order you need to place them. So, at the very top we have a B color rubber band, and that should be the same for the entire design. Then next we have the A color rubber band that's representing this white square right here. Unless you're just going to make all the glasses the same color. Then next you have the other A color rubber band, which is the same color as the rest of the glasses. And then for the last 5 rows, it's all B color band, or last 4 rows, it's B color bands. Okie dokie. So, here's the template, and here's what I have on my Alpha Loom. Go ahead and use the pause button if you need to. But now it is time to grab our hook or alpha comb and loom. So loom all those bottom bands and that connector band. Don't forget that connector band. Push all those bands down. Make sure the rainbow loom words are facing towards you again. And also cross off column 12. So now we're on the last 2 columns that we need for this design. And yeah. So now we're on column 13. And for column 13 we're going to need the last A color rubber band that we need for the design. Don't forget the connector band. And you're also going to need 6 B color rubber bands. Oh, that's 5. Alright, so start off with your connector band, like that. Then, from row 1 all the way down to row 7, here's the order of the bands. At the very top we have our B color rubber band. Then next we have our only A color rubber band and our last A color rubber band for the design. And the remaining 5 rows are all B color bands. Okay, so here's what we have on the template. We're on column 13. Oops. And here's what I have on my Alpha Loom. Go ahead, use the pause button if you need to. Now it's time to loom again. So, go ahead and get your tool for looming and just loom. Don't forget to push all the bands down. You can already see the picture here. Looking pretty cool. Pretty awesome. Haha. Oh, okay. And yeah, don't forget to cross off column 13. Now we're on the very last column that we need for the design. So that's column 14, obviously. So for column 14, you're just going to need a connector band, and you're going to need the or well, actually it's not, but you're going to need 7 B color rubber bands. Okay, they're just all rolling around. But you're going to need 7 B color rubber bands and a connector band. It's the exact same as column 1. Alright. And, well, for placing the rubber bands you need for column 14, you're just going to take your connector band and place it. Same way you've placed it this entire tutorial. It's just been different rubber bands. Anyway. Then, for all 7 rows, it's just B color rubber bands. There's not really much explaining for that. Alright, so here's what's on the Alpha Loom. It's just all B color bands here on top, and then the template is just all B color rubber bands. That's like all I can really say. I mean, I don't really need to show you, but here it is. Alright, so anyway, once you've placed those bands, use the pause button if you still need to. It's time to loom now. This is the last time we're going to loom. By the way, don't forget to push the bands down, that's very important. And now, if you're using an alpha comb, you can go ahead and just put that off to the side or put that away. You can already see the awesome face coming down through the Alpha Loom. And yeah, now what we're going to do is we're going to finish this thing off. So you can actually go ahead and just erase all those nice light marks you made on your template with an eraser, of course. And now what we're going to do is we're going to finish our design off. So, oop, don't fall over, camera, please. Alright, so now everybody needs to get their regular hook out, and then those last B color rubber bands you should have left. Alright, so first we're going to deal with our hook and the stuff on our loom. What we're going to do is we're going to use our hook and grab one side of a rubber band here on our Alpha Loom. So you should only have one rubber band on all the pins. And you're just going to use your hook and grab one side of a rubber band on your Alpha Loom. And it doesn't matter if you're on the left or the right, because everybody holds their hook in a different hand. But I'm on the left. Just going to grab one side and just bring it directly across to the pin, directly across from it. Just like that. And then you'll do the same thing for this next rubber band. Bring it over directly across to the other side. And again. And you'll do this for all 7 pins. And all 7 rubber bands. And also, by the way, you should still have one other connector band as well. Forgot to say that. You're going to need all those B color bands and that last connector band. Alright, anyway. Now I'm going to go ahead and show you how you close this thing off. It's a little bit tricky, but it looks much better than having little clips. So anyway, here's how we do it. So it doesn't matter really which side we start on. You can be on the side where the rainbow loom words are, or the other side. I'm going to start where there's the rainbow loom words. You're just going to take your hook, slide it through all the bands, which there should only really be 2. On that very first pin, slide it all the way down so that it sticks out like this. Take a B color rubber band and put it on your hook, and then slide or pull your hook back up through with that band, and then before you put the other end of this new rubber band on your hook like that, you're going to take your hook and go over to the next pin and stick your hook going down through there. And then you can put the other end of this new band on your hook. Now you're going to do the same thing again. You're going to get a B color rubber band, put it on your hook like so, and it's going to be a little bit more difficult this time, but you're going to pull your hook back up through all these bands, including these ones that are already on your hook. And Yeah, it's really hard to get that. Right? Anyway, once you've done that, you're going to take your hook and go on to the next pin. Take your hook and stick it down through there. And then you can put the other end of this new band onto your hook. I do apologize if I'm going a little too fast. Just use the pause button. It's the same for the entire Alpha Loom. So, I'll show you again. You have your hook, and it's on all these bands here. There should be 4 on your hook right now. You're going to take another B color rubber band, put it on your hook, like so. Then slide your hook back up through all these bands. Takes quite a lot of practice and patience. Come on, what are you? Okay, there we go. Right? And once you've done that, you can take your hook and stick it down, going through the next pin and all those bands. And then you can put the other end of this new rubber band onto your hook as well. And you're just going to do that going all the way through the Alpha Loom and all those bands until you get to this last pin here. Let's take a B color band, pull your hook up through. It's kind of difficult using this Rainbow Loom hook. Gonna switch to this hook, see if it's easier. Uh-oh. Alright, I'm gonna switch to my other hook. Again. Oh my. Alright, finally. So once you get to this last pin here, you're just gonna, once you get to this last pin here, you have your hook sticking down through that. You're gonna go ahead and get that last connector band that you should have. And if you want, you can actually get another one. You know, never hurts to have an extra. What you're gonna do is you're gonna take either 1 or 2 of those connector bands, put them both on your hook, like so, and then slide your hook back up through all these bands like you've done with the rest. It's really hard to do with... Oh, and I lost a band. Oh well. Anyway, like I said, it doesn't hurt to have an extra. But anyway, once you have done that, put your hook going through all those bands, you can put the other end of this new rubber band onto your hook. And now what we're going to do is we're going to make a little slip knot. And to do that, make sure you have these little bands in order. You're going to grab this side of the rubber band that is furthest away from the actual hook part of your hook, right here, and just pull it off, and let go. and then give what's still here on your hook a tug, tightening the slip knot. And once you've done that, you can just pull all these bands off. I recommend using a hook. Alright, once you've done that, you can continue tightening the slip knot if you would like. And now you should have your awesome face picture. So yeah, I guess now it's time for the outro. So I would like to thank you for watching my tutorial. Hopefully it showed you how to make the awesome face picture successfully, and hopefully now you have your design. You're liking it, it's pretty cool, all that stuff. And yeah, so if you would like to make some more Alpha Loom pictures and designs, I actually have a Rainbow Loom logo picture which you can make, and you can find the video in the Alpha Loom tutorials playlist that I have linked down in the description. And if you would like to get some more templates for more designs to make on your Alpha Loom that are by me and some other creative peoples, there will be a link to the website where you can get the template from, or any template and stuff, down in the description as well. And yeah, so actually that's pretty much all I have to say for this tutorial, other than thanks for watching and bye!